jump in and join the club and float this Whiskey River reservoir. We're gonna spend the weekend in the deep end of a diving bar.
Is it soup yet?
It's gonna be.
It's gonna be. Oz has got the beehive going on him today again. So
These are eating your soul.
good morning, everybody. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Auntie Ann. Sirius, Karen Daly, Al Walsky. Now in New York City, Amazon is being castigated in protest parade for firing workers who are organizing to get basic on-the-job COVID protection. Amazon has hired Pinkertons to protect their profit. Yeah, I was reading that day before yesterday, Al.
Yep.
Let me just tell you, from Seattle, we are not shocked.
Yeah. Welcome to the party, pal, Al. Welcome to the party. They're screwing us as they have been for decades. So, yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys, that just totally reminds me of a story. One of my favorite books as a child was called The Pushcart War. And it was New York street corner pushcart pin dart blowing out tires and stuff. And it was very, I would say, slightly revolutionary for a, third grader's book. It was.
You were born a revolutionary.
I know.
Good morning, guys. A dingo ate my baby, Jelly. Serious. Hope you guys had a great.
Who's had pie so far?
Yeah, who's had pie this morning?
What kind
Not
of
me.
pie? What kind of pie?
Pumpkin,
Pumpkin.
an apple,
Apple.
organic.
I drove out of the lane. I made carameled apples, homemade caramels with cinnamon caramel on one apple and milk caramel on the other, and I'm just looking at it, waiting to get out my insulin. So.
Oh, that makes me have a toothache just thinking about it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just gonna say, ow.
Oh yeah.
Ow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So.
that constant unsticking of the teeth.
Oh yeah. Well, mine's not that sticky. There's a trick to getting the right stickiness in a caramel, and those who make candy out there know what that trick is. So I hit it. So.
I tend to go for dips.
So what's wrong with everybody? They're not out all. I know you do. You know me. They're not all Black Friday or whatever. Is it Black Friday? Is that what they call today?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I've never shopped. I have no idea.
Oh, let me tell you my story. So last year I went Black Friday shopping for the first time ever in my life because I'm always broke come the day after Thanksgiving. I went to JCPenney's and I had about $800 in the bank account. I spent about $400. I pretty much got all my Christmas shopping done. They charged me twice. They ran it over my credit card twice. They wiped my bank account out. They couldn't tell me why. My local people couldn't tell me why. Corporate couldn't tell me why. All they could say was, well, it'll probably release it at some point. So I was literally broke for the whole month of December because Pennies took my money.
Congratulations.
Lesson learned. Yeah, lesson learned.
You're so lucky. You're so lucky, Shanda. You have all this great stuff happen to you all the time.
Well, I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. It's a crazy year, so as most we can be supportive of each other and relaxed and enjoy our family in whatever way. I know I had a family Zoom, but it was good to see everybody. We were spending a lot of time doing that when my grandmother was in hospice, and haven't seen or talked to anybody in a few months, so that was good.
Well, good. My daughter and her husband came down. I finally figured out how to get the tube into the bubble so we could feed them, and it was fine. We got them in and got them out. It was very nice, and I asked my daughter what she was doing for Christmas, and she goes, "Oh, what? Wait, you're not going to let us come down and see you for Christmas?" I go, "I'm thinking about it." So I don't know. So isn't that a terrible place we're at these days?
It is.
It's terrible. Anyway,
Well,
go ahead.
depends on if we're at war with anybody by Christmas.
Oh,
We still
yeah.
got a month left
yeah,
of
yeah.
2020.
What's
All
the-
hell could break loose.
What are you worried about? Biden's going to start the war after New Year's anyway, right?
True.
The wars. So
I see it as a more combined effort.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
We're
they are.
signaling now, so I don't know. We'll
They
talk
are
about that
signaling,
later.
yeah.
All right. I better get the card over here so I can explain it here. This is New Zealand's Prime Minister, and her name is Judson and Ardern. They won over there, and they're kind of like the so-called centrist party, but their newly elected members of parliament were sworn in Tuesday to resume work on Wednesday in New Zealand's most diverse parliament ever. It has several people of color, members of the rainbow community, and large number of women. Yay! Thank God they're going the right way. So now they're going to declare the climate crisis a worldwide emergency Wednesday. So I didn't know that they already hadn't. Have we declared the climate crisis a worldwide emergency in this country?
Fuck no.
We pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord.
Yeah.
Not
What
real.
emergency?
Yeah, it's Jacinda Ardern is her name. I think I pronounced that right, but thank God we have her. I offered to trade Harris and Biden for her, but there were no takers. I was saying, shit, we'll give you 2 for the price of 1. That didn't go over so well.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
I just want to say that all of my tiniest favorite countries with amazing women leadership are kicking ass in
They
this
are.
decade.
Oh, you're so sexist.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, we are.
even though the facts explain your point completely. That's true. So let's get off. I'll get off the sexism and say, yeah, absolutely. I don't care what you're carrying around. It's what you do, and that's what we need more of in this country. The Biden is being hailed as putting the most diverse cabinet in history of people of color, of everything else. They all have one thing in common.
They're all neolibs.
They're all neolibs. They're all corporate lobbyists and war hawks and everything else, but there's diversity. So there you go there.
Bonus points.
Bonus points.
Ding, ding,
Yeah,
ding.
yeah, there we go.
But I got a bell to ring. Time for shots.
Yeah, that's
Are you guys hearing feedback in the? We've got somebody saying that they're hearing feedback in one of the chats. So if you guys give us a heads up if we got sound issues.
Yeah, let me know, because this is always an issue. I've got bees, and I've got feedback, and I've got termites, and whatever the hell it is. And there's our fair use again. I don't have to read it again, so that's
Only
use.
fair.
It's
Yeah.
only fair. We did have a guest scheduled today, and they probably overslept. So, Shanda, you want to take off on it?
Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to catch up with Rebecca Parsons. Some of you may remember her. She ran for CD6 Washington State against Derek Kilmer, terrible neolib, head of the Young Democrats. He's got to go. But right now they are doing direct action where they took a local school in Tacoma, an old school that was empty, and they're trying to get a land trust together for the homeless that are being evicted in Tacoma. But that's all I know. So I'm excited to talk about Rebecca so I can get more information.
Yeah, I've got some donations I've been collecting for a couple different camps, so I'd like to find out where I can donate. It's a good day. I've been trying to give back where I can. I know some people are out there doing legal fund searches for people. That's a good look for you, Oz. I like that. I'm gonna put my headphones across my face.
Yeah, I
for
know.
2020.
I'm trying to hide it. Yes, there is a buzz in the background, so we've got that going
Okay.
for us. It's not horrible, but it is annoying.
We're gonna blame the bees.
Yeah, let's
Yes,
blame
the
let's
bees.
blame the bees. I think I'm gonna take everything apart today and put it back together. That helps sometimes.
I skipped this one. We already saw this. It was just kind of reiterating what they were doing.
It's
Amy's blouse.
Amy's
I love
fault.
that blouse on Amy. Yeah.
I know. She never wears that much color. It's great.
I know.
She's usually washed out. and,
Getting
you know,
spicy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Love
didn't
it.
see a democracy now this morning, so I'm thinking maybe they took the day off. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I think everybody took the day off. I mean, Rising's off, and CBS News is working. I think that's.
Oh, not everybody.
I
Yeah.
saw this. This is bad news first. Is that right?
Yeah.
What is that? 12,953,329 confirmed cases as of this morning, and fatalities are 264,174. They're predicting fatalities to be what? 335 by February, million or thousand fatalities. So.
Right.
So you have to take that number and only take 10% of it. Is the magic
It's the
magic
actual number.
quotient.
Explain that.
All the other deaths are caused by our country being the sickest industrialized nation in the world, and those are comorbidity factors.
Okay.
So not just being old, that's not a comorbidity, but diabetes, autoimmune conditions, cancer,
Falling off a roof.
yeah, you name it.
So
I heard a story about a guy who fell off a roof and they declared him dead from COVID.
All right, explain this to me again. So what you're saying is that COVID triggers all these other bad things that are happening and is what killing us, right?
Well, that's called bad things, yes.
Okay.
I mean, if you're a diabetic and you get cancer, you've just doubled your chance of death. So it's just like anything else. I'm not downplaying actual COVID, but I'm just saying these numbers are not because of COVID. These numbers are because our healthcare system is broken.
Right.
10% of those numbers are caused only by COVID.
Wow.
But, wear a mask and don't worry about your immune health.
I'm shocked at how high Washington State's is because we've been locked down the longest of anybody. And, 20% of us said that, what was it? Inslee tweeted out the other day, 80% of us said we were going to stay home and not visit relatives. So thank you, Washington State, for being the most brainwashed in the country.
Yeah. Well, I think the bigger picture, so I actually work somewhat near a testing site, and there was 5 city blocks of cars lined up for the mobile
God
testing.
damn. Well, okay.
And I
2
have
weeks
not
from
seen
now,
that the whole time.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now, what's it going to be?
I don't know, about the same, I guess. Probably the same in the springtime, too. It's not going anywhere, but it's certainly exposing our poor health and our ability to treat people with poor health.
Could that have been by design?
I'm going to blame ARP. It's their fault. Can I blame ARP? Anyway, here's from this morning. This is CBS This Morning, and let's hear what they got to say.
For Thanksgiving, the nationwide death toll from COVID-19 reached more than 263,000 yesterday. And for the first time, U.S. hospitals are treating more than 90,000 coronavirus patients. Millions of Americans celebrated in large groups yesterday, despite warnings from health officials. Adriana Diaz is in Chicago, where busy hospitals are preparing to get even busier. Adriana, good morning.
Good morning. Well, here at Northwestern Memorial Hospital, they've actually reduced elective surgeries just to make sure there's enough room for the increased number in COVID cases they're seeing. And listen to this. Local health officials say 1 in every 17 Chicagoans is carrying the virus. And that's why doctors across this city and the nation are trying to curb the spread to avoid what could be a devastating holiday season.
Okay. So no elective surgeries. So if you need your gallbladder out, too fucking bad. If you need, a bone set, too bad.
If you timed out your holiday deductible to go with when your surgeon was available to get end of year surgery, too bad.
A lot of people do that, including my family. My mother has to wait till the end of the year for any kind of testing. That way everything's met.
You have to.
Well, yeah, because, if you don't get this stuff knocked out, you're going to get socked with, $2,000, $5,000 deductible after the first of the year. And I'm thinking an average, I'm sure there's more that's even higher.
It averages about $2,500
$2,500
per person.
Yeah, per person. Okay, yeah. Again, yeah, it's the healthcare and healthcare. The insurance scam in this country is literally killing us all, and I would say that's what you're emphasizing about those numbers, Amber.
Absolutely, we're looking at a lifetime and a half of really poor healthcare and really poor food supply. So they haven't done anything to talk about actual health and public health. It's all been about get your vaccine, go see your doctor, have your, cholesterol checked, and have your heart pressure monitored so you can, get on a new prescription. That's been the focus of our entire medical system for 40 plus years. So are we really shocked that we're here right now? I think this is just the tip of the iceberg.
I do too.
Call it a culling, but it's been a 50-year culling.
Yeah, and it's like a song. We're getting to the crescendo of this 40 years of bad food, bad medical insurance, bad lifestyles, bad, and you know, I know I bring people down, but be honest with yourselves. You know, do we take care of our weight? Do we stay fit? Do we not get into situations where we're sedentary 24/7? We're eating garbage, and everything on television is medication, McDonald's, and you know, making life easier. You know, so again, that's
Big Pharma's going to save us, but hey, just a reminder that you have till December 7th to get your Medicaid, your Medicare insurance group chosen. So if you are in that category, you're running out of time.
Yeah, you can do that. And for those who already have it now, it automatically just stays the same as the previous year. Is that correct?
Well, yes and no. When you live in the rural areas like I do, we only have one provider, which is Humana, which is fucking terrible. But they can and will just randomly change you if you have multiples to choose from. So if one group has less, they'll just move you to that group.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
I would like to offer to anybody watching also, if they are lucky enough to still be employed and have employer-sponsored health care, and they have choices to make based on different plans, I will happily help talk with you, help you decide where you want to focus your care and pick a plan that most suits that, because my experience in doing medical billing for so many years is that most people don't understand the ramifications of the paperwork they sign up for.
Right. And that's so awesome that you say that, Amber, because I encounter so many seniors in my area that don't get advice, and then they go to the Humana little booth that's sitting outside of Walmart, and they get duped into shitty packages that covered no premium, you know, no prescription drugs, no testing, things like that. So that's awesome that you say that. We need more independent advisors helping people choose these crap programs.
I can help you make actual sense of the very tiny 8-font policy information.
Okay, well, I'm sending my mother to you.
Yeah, well,
Okay, you got it.
Barbara says they gave me a $5,000 deductible, so I can't afford it. Medicare DIS Advantage. Yeah, that's what I was kind of referring to earlier, is that it's all about profit. The healthcare sector, as far as capitalism goes, profit. And you know, until we start getting really ugly about activism and things like that, it's not going to change. And even then, it's going to be cray. What is this? Is this what you had for breakfast, Amber?
That's what I wanted for breakfast, except for I would have made fresh.
I make fresh. Forget that hydrogenated oil.
Yeah, I don't.
Cool Whip's only good in frozen chunks and baby shower punch or something.
Yeah,
right.
Baby shower punch. Yeah, that's a good one.
But that is breakfast, everyone. Welcome to America.
Welcome to America. It makes me want to kind of throw up. I don't know why. Abby Martin was on Jordan Chariton. I think Shanda, you turned me on to this interview the other day, and I cut a couple of clips out of it. You're going to enjoy this one.
I've never watched it, so that's cool.
Okay. This is Abby kind of lays it out here, you know, and just give this a listen.
Years background. What should people expect, not just from Biden, but the people he's going to put in his cabinet?
Well, one important thing was from In These Times, Sarah Lazar talked about how 1/3 of Biden's Pentagon transition team hails from think tanks and organizations that are essentially financed by the weapons industry. So you have think tanks like the Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, which employs several people that are part of Biden's DoD agency review team, and those are directly funded by corporations like Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin. They also receive money from like countries like the UAE, which is, you know, bombing the shit out of Yemen and exacerbating that genocide right there. And Trump actually just oversaw a huge weapons shipment to the UAE, exacerbating the death toll in Yemen. Then you have two individuals that are part of the CNAS, the Center for New American Security. This is a think tank that essentially you can thank this think tank for the last 10 to 15 years of foreign policy under the Democratic administration of Barack Obama. This was a very, very influential think tank. This is where Michelle Flourney is connected to. She's touted as like, oh, the first woman, right, to run the Pentagon. And that's what you see, I think, with a lot of Biden's transition team so far and a lot of these potential picks. It's like Susan Rice, the first Black woman to potentially be in this role. And it's like, when you go past these kind of rhetorical platitudes, and not just rhetorical platitudes, I mean, these are hugely symbolic, of course, for people of color to take positions of power. But when you go past these, when you go past the symbolism, it really is just the same bipartisan imperialism and policy of U.S.
Yeah, it's bipartisan war is what it is. Yeah. So, his cabinet's
Blinken and nod.
Yeah, Blinken. Yeah, and Blinken's part of that. So, did Susan Rice get appointed for anything, or is it just going to
Not
be
that I
Blinken?
have heard of.
Yeah,
yet.
because she's horrible. I mean, they're all horrible, but once again, it is what it is. Now I finished up with this clip. It's much shorter, but I'm going to hammer this home over and over again until people start speaking out about it.
Plus all of these think tanks that are involved in his Pentagon transition team just really goes to show you what his foreign policy will be like. And it is so far right that it's just a slap in the face to the Bernie Sanders coalition. Again, like, he ran on this repudiation of Bernie Sanders. So it's just, again, just so offensive to the base that rallied behind him to, oust the fascists from the White House. And so it's just, I think it just is really demoralizing for people who want to move Biden left, who want to, keep pushing that coalition to try to employ a more humane, responsible foreign policy. And again, defunding the Pentagon, which we're spending $2 billion a day to subjugate and oppress tens of millions of people around the world when we're told we can't have Medicare for all.
$2 billion a day, and we can't have Medicare for all. You just have your employer-based health care, health insurance.
If you have a job.
Yeah, if you have a job. And you're screwed. So this shit's got to come to an end. This has to end.
Or if you need health care, you can't get a job like my husband because he's on $4,000 worth of medications a month. If he goes and gets a minimum wage job, for one, he won't be able to afford it, and so he's just going to die. He's supposed to die.
Well, that's the ultimate thing, is once you start costing them profit, not money, costing them profits, then just die. Just die already.
So, hey, I got some great news. We are officially Roar Media now at the Rockfin. You can find us at Roar Media. And we have 701 followers over there. So be sure to follow us on the Rockfin.
Yes. And we're doing all kinds of things. I wish I could clone myself, a much smarter me, not this one. So I could do some of the stuff that Shanda and Amber and I are working on, animations and cutting commercials and doing exclusives on platforms, but we'll get there eventually. Just stay patient with us, everybody. We love you guys, so thank you.
We do.
What do we got? Did I bring this? Probably.
It's Jimmy, so it's all good.
Oh, he is from Sarah Abdullah, who was Antony Blinken.
Yeah.
He advocated for a war in Iraq. He's a backer of bombing Libya and Yemen. He's an architect of arming al-Qaeda in Syria. He's a proponent of the CIA coup in Ukraine. He's a champion of NATO expansionism, and he's a hardcore supporter of Israel.
So I'm just going to tell you, I told you so now, so I don't have to tell you in, February? Really? I mean...
My favorite is Alejandro Mayorkas. He's about as crazy as it gets, Awesome. Love that he's the first Latino for Homeland Security.
Oh, great.
Terrible that he's been doing this shit since the Obama years. He was the one who kicked this all off,
Didn't he apply for... They wanted him in the Trump administration, one of those guys, didn't they? Is that the one? No.
Probably.
Probably.
I don't remember.
Yeah. No.
He might as well have been. It wouldn't have made it...
No, no, it was...
Actually, we'd probably be worse now that I think about it.
Florinay, I think, actually. Is this... This is...
This is a Richard Wolf clip from Status Quo. It's a couple of days old, but...
Oh, okay, let's hear it.
I was just going to say this poor immigrant, real quick before we play it, went to Beverly Hills High School. That gives you any...
Which poor
immigrant? Oh, yeah.
Who?
Mayorkas,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
But he plays an immigrant really well.
How serious this is, And that's because they haven't faced how serious the economic consequences of their actions are for a very long time. When Mr. Biden says we're going back to normal, my ears start to burn, because you didn't understand, and I'm talking here to the Democrats. The Republicans are a lost cause in this kind of business, because they're just, doing the work for the corporations and letting the chips fall where they may. But the Democrats have a base in the working class, and the Democrats seem to have missed the point that 30 years of neoliberalism, of globalization, of jobs going abroad, of new technology, computers, robots, artificial intelligence, you put all that together and you are jeopardizing the jobs of millions of people. If you look over the last 30 years, the American working class has been the pioneer, taking on more debt than any working class in the history of the world. And this is on top of wages that stagnated. I mean, of course they're freaked out. Of course they're upset. Of course, as they send more and more people out to work, old people greeting you at Walmarts, teenagers spending their weekends, the adult women, particularly the white ones, going out to work, and the families falling apart, the emotional glue that held it together is dissolving. I mean, you have a tsunami and then you fail to prepare for a pandemic. You fail to prepare for a perfectly predictable capitalist crash. They happen every 4 to 7 years. We had one in 2000, one in 2008, one in now 2020. That's 3 in 20 years. That's within the 4 to 7 year average rate. You weren't ready for anything, and you want to go back to normal. It's normal that gave us Mr. Trump.
Yeah, so back to normal cycle of capitalism crushing the working class. We might as well just call it slavery.
Yeah. Oligarchy.
It is slavery, and there's no jobs. What are they going to do with all these people in the entertainment industry? I'm talking about movie theaters, not actors.
I was like, boo-hoo. Who
No,
cares what
I'm
the
not
fucking
talking about
actors
actors. And I'm talking about and the supply chains, the caterers, the restaurants. What are they going to do with what's going to happen?
I've got a huge report to bring you guys for Beauty and the Boomer tomorrow night. We have so many restaurants across the country that are going fucking under, like every major chain. If you want a Subway sandwich, you better get out there and get it now, because they're going to be bye-bye. But I'll bring that report tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is by design. They,
Yeah.
this is they actually want Hollywood's wealth now too. That they can't control them any longer. Clearly. Everybody's speaking their ridiculous minds in Hollywood these days, which is great, but they need the wealth. They're trying to capture as much wealth and redistribute as much as humanly possible right now.
Yeah, and Hollywood. Here's something I ran across this morning. Katie Sutcliffe. Katie Sutcliffe. She was like Starbuck in the new Battlestar Galactica, the blonde, and she's on a Netflix series now too. She was out there on YouTube. She has a YouTube show like many of the Hollywood people do now. And they were arguing the difference, which is better, Canadian chocolate or American chocolate. And I'm sitting here going, is my head going to explode here? So this is a privileged Hollywood person. I don't know what she's worth, $1 million or so anyway. And she's arguing the difference between chocolate. Once again, I don't know. We are here talking about issues that we hope are entertaining, but moreover informing. And when I see all these movie review people with hundreds of thousands of subs and views and stuff, I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't know.
Way to use your platform wisely. It sounds like Pelosi's ice cream issue.
Yeah, it is. It is. And again, we're going to keep doing this as long as we can, as long as I have great folks doing it and people that want to listen, because it's got to be somewhere. People are going to get woke up one of these days to what's happening to them. And sure, I like movies, and we do movie reviews. We mix it up, so there's at least a break from what I call insanity. Like we'll have Pat on Beauty and the Boomer, or you'll do an expose on something on either one of your shows on stuff. But for Christ's sake, I hope we're doing something right. I don't know. Let's.
I watched a good movie. I watched V for Vendetta last night.
There you go.
I hope you guys are creating things. Like, we need to work that creative part of the brain in arts. Actual, think Renaissance. What are you doing for the new Renaissance right now?
Right.
How are you helping children learn how to paint, learn how to read and write? That is really where we need to focus some efforts on.
Yep.
Let me tell you, as a mother of children, doing Zoom school is not good. It is not okay.
Right.
It is not the way our children should be learning. It is not the focus. They're getting, and these poor teachers are working their tails off, let me tell you. And it's just, it's such an utter fail in so many ways for my kids personally, watching them trying to navigate this and deal with it. They have nothing to look forward to.
So are your guys' schools physically open? Because they physically shut our schools down. Even though we were doing remote learning already, I think there was some kids going to the physical school, but now they've shut all schools down up here.
No, yeah, we haven't gone back. I don't think they will go back at all.
Yeah, right.
I heard they had a gym class with like 5 kindergartners with special needs in it.
Right, I think that
got shut down as
So
well.
how many teachers are going to lose their jobs now?
Well, they're hiring more nurses and more contact tracing people.
Wow.
So it just depends on where you're at. And who's losing their jobs is the office people, is the assistants, being a teacher's assistant or a student advisor person. That's who's losing their jobs. But the problem is that they're getting so far behind in what I would consider topics and subjects, and because it takes so much long, like even kind of like doing this show, it takes a long time to build something to present in a virtual format. So they don't have that organic learning of something discovered in class that leads to a different discussion. It's all very, by the book, instructions, 15 minutes of this, 15 minutes of that, and then we're done. Shoop.
Yeah, and being the social creatures by nature that we are, I think we're kind of rejecting even what's supposedly good for us. And this is why I commend you for saying that, Amber, is we've got to rethink and relearn how we learn, how we do everything. And, they've been getting rid of the arts in schools for the last couple of decades, and that has a direct effect on the creative part of your brain.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to condition us to be automatons for whatever their goddamn, ultimate goal is. And if you don't understand, this isn't a conspiracy theory. Think about it. They're getting rid of the music, the arts.
Because it's a medium for truth, and they don't want truth out there. They just want their narrative.
They don't want that. They don't want the creative minds out there. And how the STEM figures into this is beyond me, because I don't think you can have the STEM without the arts, because
100%.
it's a counterproductive thing. You've got to have that joining of those things in order to progress. Amber, you said last week, according to statistics, that human intelligence is growing every 2 minutes. Okay, well, what are we missing? What are we missing out of that? Because we're taking away that creative aspect of things, and we're just giving ourselves over to things like AI and governments that don't give a shit about the populace, but they only give a shit about corporate profits and power. I don't know. That's
so that is kind of the crux of it, is they want us very controlled and predictive. They want us to be able to put us in our box, to follow the instructions, to do what we're told, don't think outside of the box. Because the wealth of human knowledge is rapidly expanding at such a great rate, our brains literally cannot process it, and we're on overdrive that we can't make heads or tails of it, which is why we need social conditioning to go into our little square boxes. And they don't want us to learn arts. They don't want us to think for ourselves. They don't want us eating magic mushrooms in Oregon, learning how connected we are to Mother Nature. They want to sever that. They absolutely want it disconnected, cut off. They want you sick, poor, tired, not able to think, only have enough energy to turn on Netflix, to buy from your corporate show, to have your food delivered, and to live in your little box. And anything outside of that is a risk for them. That's why these large corporations that put so much money into STEM refuse to acknowledge STEAM. And I fight for that on every level, at every school board meeting. I made sure it was in our Democratic platform for Washington State, and I will be hopefully teaching people more about that in the months to come, because it's really important. But what I'm saying is each one of you out there has a skill. You know something that some child does not know. And I think we all need to take responsibility and find that child, whether it's a neighbor, a relative, your own grandkids, like whoever it is, your own kids. Teach them something they are never going to learn in school.
Right.
Teach them a skill. Teach them how to change their oil. You know, like we just bought 2 manual cars this week, literally because my daughter's birthday's coming up and I don't want her to just know how to drive an automatic or, you know, a robot car. I want her to be able to drive. And you have to find those things. Teach her how to change the oil, you know, how to.
And not just physical things, but teach them, you know, I do music appreciation with my grandkids, and I can see those little connections in their head, like that will help them create in the future, you know, and have that love of music. And then maybe they'll create music that, who knows, pushes back against the man, you know. It's all relevant.
And connecting with nature too. Kids spend very little, that's the biggest thing too with being forced inside on your screen, is you're not spending time outside. You're not playing in the woods. You're not climbing trees. You're not building forts. You're not running around the neighborhood anymore.
God, those were the best things about being a kid.
Yeah.
I know. So imagine losing that, like an entire generation losing that. Afraid to go outside at night.
Changes who you are when you reach adulthood. That changes who you will potentially be, and that's the social conditioning. That's the propagandizing of what's been happening, and that's what I believe leads to what's behind us here on the screen. Tell me why Mom thought Rocks Float was like Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
It has to be the chain around his neck.
It has to be, you know, that's the little doily around her judge's robe there or something. But no, I think The Rock should not be thrilled with that.
Right. The next, I like the next one. The next one's good too, because of course these are from the Macy's Day Parade.
Oh, that's a nice one. That's a photoshopped image there.
It is.
I was going to say Sally Hansen or Jim Henson.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. No, but actually he originally was flipping off the original Mount Rushmore, and then they cropped it into the float.
See,
same thing.
You know that. That's good. That's good to have that stuff. Derek Chauvin. What the hell? What the hell is this about? I read this the other day.
Go ahead and just hit play. We'll talk about it afterwards.
All right.
All right, this is the body cam footage from the day George Floyd died. We've got another strange legal twist involving Derek Chauvin. He's the lead officer at the time, the one with his knee on the neck of George Floyd. Now, shortly after all this happened, his wife, Kelly, filed for divorce. And now there's a little bit of a problem with all of this. Let's take a look. We've got Derek Chauvin, Kelly Chauvin, side by side. She's some sort of a pageant queen as well. Good looking couple, I guess. And, they're in Splitsville now because of everything that happened. So together they reached an agreement. They said, okay, these are the terms of our divorce. We've agreed to everything. We've put it down on paper. Here you go, Your Honor. And the judge took a look at it and said no. What? I mean, both sides are agreeing. This is what we want to do. Judge, we're agreeing to everything. We're not fighting over everything. People are in family court, they fight about everything. They agreed to everything, and the judge rejected it. What is going on here? Let's bring in an expert. Randy Kessler, family law attorney, law professor. He's written the book about all this. So, Randy, why on earth would a judge, most judges, my father was a judge. They like to resolve cases. They want them done off their docket. So, we got this many cases, get rid of as many as you can and let's move on. What do you suspect is happening here?
So you're right. This is an anomaly. This is the 1 in a million. the judge is actually, I don't want to use the term activist because it's got a negative connotation. He's trying to protect future litigants, future potential creditors. Normally what happens is parties can agree to whatever they want, just like you said. And then if somebody comes in and sues Mr. Chauvin and says, you owe me money, and you fraudulently transfer that money to your wife in the divorce, they can ask that that divorce be undone. But nobody's done that yet. This judge is sort of acting on behalf of potential victims in a lawsuit. It's sort of strange because, the real question is there another reason that he might be giving his wife all the money other than to avoid paying it to the victims' families?
Well, it could be.
Yeah.
There's a great reason.
Right.
He's not going to be paying rent. I mean, he gets convicted for the next 40 years or whatever it is. All his meals are paid for. His rent is paid for. The electric. He doesn't need a car. His wardrobe is taken care of. He may need a few bucks for the commissary, but other than that,
but not only that, if his choice is I want to go through a nasty, ugly divorce, I mean, what's really going to happen if he goes before that judge for a divorce? What's interesting is, what do you think the judge is going to do? I mean, the judge is probably going to say, you know what, between the two of you, I think I'm going to make sure that wife is the one that ends up with most of the assets, right? Given what he is alleged.
So yeah, the judge doesn't want to rule in this case and give her all the assets because that protects the assets, and anybody who wants to file a lawsuit against him, there won't be anything to distribute. So kudos to this judge.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about potential assets, right? The guy obviously is not a bazillionaire.
No, but what if she goes and writes a book, right?
Cops make plenty of money. What are you talking about?
No. I'm not disputing that at all. I just, if she goes and writes a book, and what you're saying is to stop her from profiting off of this miserable, horrific thing that her asshole, idiot, crazy husband did, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, this is also protecting his retirement account. This is taking all of their combined wealth of whatever, it may not, I don't think he's a millionaire, but he's probably got a couple thousand K, 100,000 K in the bank somewhere.
Sure.
And that's the thing, like these police unions are fighting tooth and nail to protect their income and their unions. And the unions are you want to talk about union bashing, holy crap. I'd get behind a plumber any day, but these police unions are crooked as hell.
So crooked. Yeah. And what if he writes a book? I think that if he is found guilty, he's legally not allowed to profit off of a book that he would write. But if he's found innocent, then I think he can write as many books as he wants.
Yeah, I think it goes into a fund and he gets a certain percentage, and then it would go to pay. I mean, he's going to have restitution and whatever. But really, this is just giving her all the money. Yeah. And saying, you go keep it, let's split because this looks good for you and you get all the assets, so they're protected. If they stay together and he gets sued, then she'd have to, give up the booty and pay it. They'd go after their house. They'd go. So this is just legally protecting her. And, hey, it may not look good to be married to a, white racist prick. So, but it does give her a huge advantage, and that stops anything from going to the families of victims, which is the biggest problem. So kudos to the cop, or to the judge, not to the cop.
Yeah, totally. Hi, Stevie. No worries. I'm not worried about it. We'll have a great show no matter what.
And Shanda, you're
this is when the tree in the mall, here's Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas started playing, the 58 millionth time. It just runs away.
I got a guy that yeah, my dogs bark at a guy who looks just like that. He walks down the street every day, so
You have a Christmas tree that walks through your neighborhood?
My wife calls him, "Here comes the tree," and
that's funny.
She's not being mean or anything. The guy's just got horrendous facial hair all over the place, and his hands, it looks like Chewbacca. It's like, really?
We have a guy that works at a local restaurant like that, and every time he hands me my food, I'm kind of like, oh.
Think bed bugs, huh?
Yeah, I think hair in my food.
Okay. But you don't go to that restaurant anymore because they're probably closed, right? So, this is a rising clip. I think I put this in from the other day. So
we're shocked.
We're
Yeah,
shocked. I know.
Did you see how hard we got trolled over on the Rockfin on Wednesday for the Rising clips? Oh
I
my
know,
gosh.
my
it
daughter
was
trolled
bad.
me yesterday on Crystal Ball and Sauger, and she was saying, "Oh, Sauger just or Crystal just kisses Sauger's ass." I go, "No, that's not true." But again, here we go. Let's listen to this one.
Teach-Out, great to see you.
Oh, it's great to be on. Thank you so much.
We're so glad to have you. Congratulations on the book. I think it's an incredibly important read. Just start with the basics of why this issue is so important and how it pervades every aspect of our lives.
We have a society right now that has such a high level of corporate concentration that it affects everything we do. In fact, what I argue in the book is it's a kind of government that's coexisting with formal democratic government. In the last decade, we've allowed 500,000 mergers worldwide. Just think about that. And while we're so laser focused on what's happening in what we call the political sphere, you see companies like DuPont and Dow merging. Bayer and Monsanto merging. Google 1 year bought a company a week. And these Goliaths, basically, they're not participants in the market. They control the market. When you look at something like Facebook, they basically decide what news organizations survive, thrive, and fail. When you look at something like Amazon, they squeeze small businesses and decide who fails or who succeeds. So it's a feudal system. It's not a open market. And the effect is incredible inequality, an incredibly high degree of powerlessness. And we just haven't done anything about it for over 40 years.
I think that's pretty right on for a Rising clip, don't you?
Yeah, it was.
DuPont.
That's a good one. I'll take it.
DuPont and Dow. And what did Dow gobble up a few years ago? Union Carbide. So yeah, they're amassing their power base. They've bought most of the Democratic politicians, and we know the Republicans are already on board with them. So
Right.
we have once again one party in this country, and that belongs to Dow and Monsanto and all the rest of them. So don't kid me. And thank you, Adingo. Leave Oz's crush alone. My crush. Yeah, no, it's laziness on my part because they usually touch on topics that I like to cover on a daily basis. But I'm trying to get more diverse. Anyway, Shannon.
I love this comment from Chris Foster over on the Rockfin. He said, "I'll get behind a plumber any day." Best accidental porn quote of the show so far.
Shanda.
I didn't say it. Chris Foster said it.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Well, actually, Amber said it. So.
Yeah, I agree with this. I feel like Willie Nelson's been the same age my whole life. Yeah, I get that. I get
right?
that.
Me
It's
too,
like,
me
yeah,
too.
he's always been old and smoking weed with the I love his hair, though, of course.
Right.
So
The braids and the
Yeah.
red, white, and blue guitar straps.
Yeah. I mean,
So I'm going to piss some people off with these clips.
okay, let's piss some people off. Is this
You guys are being way too kind. Let's do it.
This is Jason Burmis. I don't like
Dropping some hard truths on you.
All right, let's hear it.
Talking about the latest in these court cases, and now you have Pennsylvania refusing to certify the vote, and it's almost like you're hearing silence on the other side of all these critics and all these people that were completely disingenuous. And I normally don't share my social media with people. If you follow me, you can check it out. But I really think I hit the nose on the head. The nose on the head.
Yeah. Oops.
The nail on the head with this post. Because it really comes down to one thing, okay? And people out there who basically did not want to see Trump in, you need to ask them straight up. Would you rather, in this case, okay, have a fair election, and if that fair election, a fair count, any corruption out, and if that fair election brings you Trump, you deal with it, or are you comfortable with, in this case, a rigged election that gives you anyone but Trump? What are you comfortable with? And 99% of those people that were posting things like everybody gets a participation trophy, or everybody's a winner society, or Trump throwing tantrums. The thing is that you would probably answer that question rigged in this case. Well, if you believe that, you don't really believe in a democracy. You don't believe in a constitutional republic. You don't believe in the will of the people. You don't believe in our system in any way, shape, or form. You don't believe in honesty. You don't believe in integrity. You are immoral. We all are immoral at some things. There's no doubt about it. But when you would cheat to get your guy in, okay, after you know that the guy that you're getting in and cheating for, a.k.a. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, whoever, whatever puppet they wanted to put up there, wasn't even your dude. Wasn't even your dude. Your dude, in most cases, and again, be honest with yourself. Now we're not talking about 99%, but I'd say over 80, was Bernie Sanders. And you know that Bernie Sanders got cheated in 2016 and 2020. You know they cheated him. You've admitted it to yourself. You've accepted it. You haven't kicked and screamed about it. So you're telling me if you've accepted that your dude got cheated on your end, and whether you realize it or not, you have some sort of mental illness that was exacerbated by media coverage of this presidency, okay? And you can't handle it. That should show you how weak-minded you are, how spineless you are, how you need to change your life immediately, how you need to look in the mirror and decide to be a better person.
Okay, so yeah, I had to take that shot at the burners who are supporting a rigged election. You know,
You can't handle the truth.
you can't handle the truth, right? So, but the next clip really speaks to what he's talking about, why he's saying it.
Who wanted Trump, but who wanted Biden? It's like, shit.
But what the people really
Play this
want.
clip. This is just an excerpt. Again, showing there is no intellectual honesty in a side that won't even look at evidence like this.
So at the very beginning of the chart, where there's a circle that says on election day, what that indicates is there is a spike in loaded votes, 337,000 plus or minus of some votes that were added in there in one big batch. So that was an anomaly in the reporting. Normally you would expect to see a smooth curve going up, not any big spikes. That's kind of what Greg was talking about, the anomalies of loading and uploading those votes. So that big spike that occurs there is a prime indicator of fraudulent voting.
And that's 604,000 votes in 90 minutes, is that right?
Correct. This is 337 votes, 337,000 votes in that
period of time.
Yes.
And when you look at this entire curve with all these spikes, can you calculate how much of a vote that accounted for Biden and how much for Trump?
Close to 600,000. I think our figures were about 570 some odd thousand that all those spikes represent over time.
For Biden?
Correct.
And how much for Trump?
I think it was a little over 3,200.
Listen, the whole gallery laughs. But why are they laughing? Because it's funny that Trump only got 3,200, or that they're laughing that it's so fucking blatant?
So fucking blatant. We saw that with Buttigieg and Bernie in, what was that, Iowa? What was that? We were watching it in real
Texas.
time.
They did that to us in Texas too.
In Texas too. And they switched it up in California. They just hauled off votes there.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh my God. So it would follow that if they're willing to rig two national primaries, then it's probably plausible that they're going to rig the general. So
You think? Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, fuck
You guys
Trump.
could go after Jason Burmis. Yeah, he worked for Alex Jones for a long time. He doesn't work for Alex Jones. He's very independent. He has a lot of populist progressives that follow him. And Combo Couch, Pasta's on there all the time. And I think they're doing a good job of really showing the truth. You cannot just like, oh, it wasn't rigged, let's get Biden.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can't keep a straight face and say that, but there again, you know, you got to be honest with yourself. There's rigging. There has been rigging. There will always be rigging until we get this squared a fucking away.
And we've been talking about it since what? January, February?
2016.
Well, yeah. I mean, 2016 for sure. But I mean, even this year, we talked about exactly what was going to be thrown at us.
Exactly. That was another thing.
And because Bernie did us no fucking favors by not bringing it up for the last 4 years, he got exactly what he knew he would get.
None. No favors. Sorry, Bern, man. And one more thing my daughter said and her husband said. I said, well, had there not been COVID going on, that Trump would have kicked Biden's ass.
True that.
And they said, oh, no way. And I go, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you from my loins? What the hell? Did you fall on your head? So, again, you know, I hope she watches this and gives me a phone call and yells at me. So.
I miss Debbie. Yeah, staying progressive. I do miss her.
Debbie Lassagne.
Well, and there's one of those things, too, where I don't think the average person, maybe we're just below average, I don't know, that really takes any time at this. Like, I you know, like who likes to delve into these, you know, obscure situations? Most people, they're like, oh, hey, I voted.
Yeah, I did my civic duty.
Give me my gold star. Maybe it was the first time I've actually had several people that are like, oh, that's the first time I've ever voted.
Yeah.
Like, do you think they know election rigging history? Do you think they know how these corporate software and Silicon Valley, you know, works? Do you think they know that 90% of the ballots in the entire United States are printed here in Washington State? Do you think they have your best interest? Do you think they can't rig that shit in a heartbeat?
Right.
That's the whole point, is the rigging. It's not a democracy. It's rigging for power and money and power and money.
And exit polls being way off.
Yeah.
And we call it out. We've been calling it out. Nobody, of course, in the international community will come to our aid because we've paid them all.
Exactly.
And we've, you know, enacted their regime changes based on, you know, much less rigging.
No, but Amber, some of our friends have said recently, but we've had third party come in and check it, and they said it was all on the up and up.
Oh, the 1% of the proprietary software that they can actually pretend to audit. Okay.
Yeah.
Just watch like 5 minutes on YouTube of, you know, some of these, you know, conventions. They can rig an election machine from afar in less than like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Like teenagers.
Kids, yeah, 10-year-olds.
Yeah. And those counting drives on the optical scanners, are you please.
We've seen the trucks pull up with totes. We've seen pallets of magical ballots.
And that's what happened in Philly. I've been following a story there since the election that I don't have any backup to, but yeah, there was a lot of playing around in Philadelphia.
Yeah, if we can put together hundreds of thousands of lunches for firefighters in California in a matter of hours, do you think they can't put a bunch of ballots together, hundreds of thousands of ballots in a matter of hours too?
24 hours, 2 houses.
Come on,
$3
guys,
million.
think about it. Be real. You know, I believe me, I can't stand the orange sack of monkey dicks, but Jesus Christ, come on. Election integrity, not election fraud. Election integrity is, there's no such thing at this point. So
no.
There you go.
What the hell is a dog's dangles? That must. Okay, Chris.
All right. Shanda, you're just killing me with these great memes. If you accept if you accept restrictions on free speech for any reason, it means you didn't have an education and you had an indoctrination. Oh, to right. Oh, to right. Don't even get me started. That was another topic at our Thanksgiving dinner yesterday was.
Please, sir, can you give me some more censorship?
Yeah. Censorship. Oh, well, who's qualified to be the arbiter of truth? It sure the hell ain't Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos. So.
Oh, Silicon Valley, they know the truth.
Oh,
right?
fuck them.
Yeah,
You know
they've
what?
got a plan for you. What are you talking about?
I see the United spot behind us.
This is just a little fun.
All right. A little fun here, everybody.
Hey, are we live? Yes, we're live, Joe. Hey, can you turn that teleprompter on? I can't see it. What? How are we gonna read it, Joe? Hey, can y'all hear me back? We're live? There's nobody here, Joe. That teleprompter ain't working. I can't see it. Just talk, Joe. Hell, I just wing it. Attention to America! I'm coming to you live from the office of the President-elect Joe Biden. Hey, that's me. Yep, that's you, Joe. Listen, my team is assembled and ready to give this country back. 25th Amendment. It's like, the election is over. Trump lost. It's over. We got away with it. Now it's time to move forward. It's like pack up your stuff and get out. Take down the Christmas decorations. See you later. It's time to move forward. That's right. When I was a kid growing up, there was a dog in my neighborhood that used to play with a squirrel. And there was a guy with a hat that used to sell strawberries.
Corn pop.
A bird that flew and a cat that ate food. Get back to the point. That didn't stop me. I never gave up. Yeah. And look at me now. I did it. Moving on, Joe. It took me 3 times, but I finally got elected by the media. It's over. I deal with it. It's over. It's over. It's over, Joe. Come on. I don't. I can't pronounce it. I don't know what the hell that says.
There's the Republicans.
Turn the goddamn teleprompter off. Settle down, Joe. You're president now. Listen, deal with it. Deal with it. Trump lost. Put all your Trump-loving feelings to the side and accept that I'm the winner. Yep. I won. You did. You don't believe me? I believe you. Well, then turn on the news. All right, they'll tell you I won.
Turn on the news, they'll tell you.
That was better than his Thanksgiving appeal yesterday that the news was trumpeting all day long. It was so touchy-feely and they were saying compared to Donald Trump saying, the election was rigged and everything else, but Joe Biden with his Thanksgiving address.
That was message.
And it was still difficult comprehending. Thank God Jill was there to help him out.
Oh, yeah, Jill always helps.
Yeah, which was great. So I think I'm going to take the United spot. At least it made me laugh a little bit. So.
Well, CNN did, a half-hour commentary, and they brought in writers from, the Washington Post to talk about the desk size that Trump gave his Thanksgiving address from.
The desk size.
It was a tiny desk.
Well, with a
Has
Costco.
to match the hands.
Costco,
Right.
Yeah, that's what I said this morning. Costco fold-out desk or something.
Right.
What? This is aliens? What is this?
Aliens saying, well, last month they were lobotomizing pumpkins, and now they're shoving bread up turkeys' asses. This planet has some serious issues, Brent.
No shit. No shit. And, it goes with that aliens watching us destroy ourselves, too. I love that meme going on there. Now, this is a Black Friday nod, right?
Black Friday. Hold Wednesday, $4.99.99. Thursday, hold $4.99.99. Black Friday, now $4.99.99.
Oh, Amber,
you ain't saving no money.
You got to like that, Amber. That's your social conditioning you've been hollering about for the last hour.
It might have been.
Yeah, I think so.
But did you buy it?
Yeah.
Did you buy it?
Did you buy it? Did you buy it? This is a special report. Trump told Saudi cut oil supply or lose military support, sources say.
Yeah, it's been. I don't know if anybody is following the news today, but it's been a little active in the Middle East. As predicted, as we've talked about for months, that there would be some new developments between Middle East tensions. And so Trump has been over hanging out with the Saudis. What did you hear? Did they have tea or crumpets, Shanda?
They had a total fucking love fest over there. Last week they were over there making out with Netanyahu, and then of course they had to go hang out with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia.
Wasn't Pompeo slithering around there in Israel?
Oh, it's been disgusting, yes.
Yeah, they're just...
I think he's got at least 8 houses already.
All gifts, I'm sure.
If anybody out there loves to make, do a little financial research, I'd love to see the Pompeo wealth scale in a visual, because that's got to be just spectacular by now. So I'd love to see how a poor Kansas senator really makes it in the world.
Yeah.
International
Did you
politics.
bring the reports of us helping kill Iran's top scientist?
Yep, that this is the slide setting up for that. That's the next slide.
I just want to just want to say back. Is that David Dole next there to Trump? It looks a little like him, doesn't it? No, it's not David Dole.
It's funny you should mention Canada, actually, because there is some Iranian Canadian news.
Iranian
Canadian, yeah. That Iran has been pushing illegally dumping money in Canada. That also came out this week. So
that makes sense.
I don't know if we're trying to fight, two wars. We've got to have one in this continent also, besides immigration. But we they're thinking, I don't know if any of you guys follow oil prices. My little Alaskan brain still watches oil prices on a daily basis, because that tells me a lot what's going on in the world. Who's wheeling and dealing and who to look out for. And oil's been dropping. Oil and gold are dropping price. Besides yesterday, crypto, or the day before, crypto has been, almost to 20K a Bitcoin. Now I think it's got kicked back down to like 15, but it's been, steady with the market for months now. It's pretty incredible. And we, Dow Jones is closed today, but they did have one of their highest record-breaking trading days. And don't forget, the Pfizer CEO made $5.6 million in stock shares the day they announced that they were getting approval for their new vaccine. So I just can't emphasize enough the fun happening. And now we get to watch it on an international stage. And so what's happening, they're just wiring money around, and part of this is because of our sanctions. It was actually about a year ago when Trump put the original sanctions on, but now we need, we got to spice it up a little. So we've got scrutiny happening in their nuclear program, which has of course been used for fuel. But let's play this clip here and talk a little bit about how us and Israel have been playing around in the Middle East, I would like to call it.
Okay, while this is playing, I'm going to go sell all my oil and gold stocks.
Sell.
Has been assassinated. Press TV has quoted unofficial sources saying that Mohsen Fakhrizadeh was killed near Tehran. However, conflicting reports. Iran's nuclear energy organization has denied there has been any incident involving a nuclear scientist. Clearly, highly significant news if confirmed. I'm joined by Sebastian Usher, our Middle East editor for the World Service. Sebastian, first, what are you hearing from different sources about whether there has been an assassination attempt or not?
Well, since the news broke about half an hour ago, there have been conflicting reports. Originally on state-owned media outlets like Press TV, it was stated quite clearly, but from unofficial sources, that he had been assassinated. Then other reports came through saying that he had been wounded, but was now being treated in hospital. Now, I've just seen out of the corner of my eye here, but the defense minister in Iran has now announced that Mohsen Fakhrizadeh has died. He has been assassinated. So that looks like official confirmation.
And he is one of the most important, if not the most important, nuclear scientists in Iran.
Well, in terms of the covert nuclear weapons program, that obviously is extremely controversial, has been for years and years, and has been at the heart of the way that the US administration under President Trump and Israel have looked at Iran as essentially coming close to posing a massive risk across the Middle East because of its nuclear program. He has been described as the father of that program. So you couldn't really choose a more significant target if that is what you were trying to harm, if that is what you're trying to damage. And also, of course, we have no idea who carried out this attack, but also if you are trying to send a very, very strong message to the Iranian leadership that no one is safe and that action of any kind will be taken against their potential nuclear capability. We've already had some strong words from the head of the Revolutionary Guards, who said that these attacks have happened in the past and they have been revenged in the past, and that's what will happen this time. And that is the case. Back between 2010 and 2012, there was a spate of assassinations of Iranian nuclear scientists, 4 of them were killed in relatively mysterious circumstances, but Iran pointed the finger, at least in terms of complicity, at Israel. Now, we've already had the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, not making any comment on what has just happened. But we have to look at what the context is. We've seen in the past few years, with the Trump administration in power, with a very overt foreign policy from Saudi Arabia and Israel under Mr. Netanyahu, an extremely strong attitude, a strategy of maximum pressure, the US has described it, against Iran. And now in the last weeks of the Trump administration, there's been a lot of speculation about what it might do in order to get its message across once again and potentially make things more difficult for the president-elect Joe Biden if he were to want to return to the Iranian nuclear deal from which President Trump walked away in 2018.
Sebastian Usher, thank you very much. And Sebastian, they're saying that it appears that...
Are they trying to say that Trump's doing this to set Biden up?
Well, yes and no. I mean, I think they're doing it to set each other up. Because, I see it this way. Trump has to secure his place not only in history, but also financially. And so he's got to play ball and get his ducks in a row for exit. Like, no matter what happens after this, it's he's got to set himself up as a team player here. On the international stage. So he's got to be the guy they remember so that, when his shit hits the fan, he's got something to be saved for, is how I see it. And the Pompeo had a secret meeting with the KSA.
Yeah, saw that.
I mean, it's real shocker here that this is playing out like this.
Well, and Netanyahu came out this morning and alluded to the fact that they did this, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even conspiracy. They've
they claimed it, right?
This came out, I don't know, what about 9:30 this morning Pacific time.
Yeah.
So it was all kind of happening. I'm sure while we've been on the show, much more has been released. So
it's happening.
Stay tuned.
Fast. Right.
Stay tuned. Yeah. So they're moving the pieces around on the board so everybody benefits except for the people.
Exactly. Right. And we need a distraction.
Yeah.
True.
Election's over, so what's going to keep you busy and out shopping for the holidays and, distracted with
when consumerism
fear.
isn't enough.
Yeah.
You gotta have propaganda.
You can't buy your shit. That's not enough. We got more world domination. Wipey Award today. Did you bring this, Amber?
I did. Speaking of shit, this is in LA. I can't actually read it, so I'm going to pull it.
I'll read it. You want me to read it?
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
The group of activists was demanding a safe place to stay during the pandemic. Members, some homeless, occupied several vacant homes before they were removed and detained on Thanksgiving Eve. CHP officers in full tactical gear were removing people. We got a clip here. You want me to run that clip?
Yes, please. Thanks to Streetwatch LA.
Yeah,
You're
this
not
made me
following
sick.
them on Twitter, please do.
This made me sick, and I've seen some of the other clips, and they are horrendous what they're doing. There were moms linked together, but check this out.
It's just looping, but yeah,
Happy fucking holidays.
Yeah, holidays in America. Nothing going on here. Just keep watching football, man.
And these homes were all vacant for whatever reason. They were empty buildings that people were trying to just stay in. I'm sure there's those out there that can say, "Well, they were breaking the law." So
they're actually doing what they had when they took the homes and they said they were vacant. They actually took them saying they were going to provide housing. That was the whole intent of the homes to begin with. And then they didn't follow through with it magically. Yeah. And so, letting people stay. And these are families. That was what was that woman? Probably 20?
Yeah. Something.
Teenager? Not, these are people trying to live. They've probably been evicted. they have families, they have children in here, and they're kicking them out on Thanksgiving Eve. The cops are getting overtime. It's doubling their budget. That's why we can't get enough military cuts. It's because all of this overtime from all of this terrible police work we have to do. It's a national tragedy what we are doing, and everybody out there better start looking into how many housing rights attorneys are in your community, because every one of you is going to know somebody who's going to need one soon.
Yep, I agree.
We got 1 month until all the benefits cut off, and they're going to start tying all of the assistance programs into tiny little boxes and little cubes and little restrictions, and that's not going to play well for this country. These people need a place to live. They deserve shelter. Housing is a human right, and it's time we stop denying that.
Hey, those houses are owned fair and square by the banks.
Well, healthcare we can't even get healthcare as a human right. So how are you going to get housing?
Housing, exactly.
You know?
Next is water and air, right?
Yeah, water. and
They've made those calculations already.
Yeah.
They have, yeah.
Yeah. So, another one from Shanda, I think.
Oh, this one's been on the deck for a while. I forgot about it. Marijuana is illegal. Haircuts are not. It took 50 years, but the hippies have finally won.
Finally won. Yay. There's another one. I really like this one. This is so creative.
Too bad the hippies
My
have all
favorite
turned
of the
into
day.
neolibs. Yeah, go ahead, Amber. Read this one.
This is the face you make when Republicans and the Democrats in your family are arguing over Thanksgiving dinner, and then they ask you what you think.
Oh my God. Jiminy Christmas. Too true. Too true.
Oh,
the 2020 poinsettias are out.
Feed me. Feed me. Feed me.
Feed me.
Little shop of horrors.
I'm going to go to my dentist, and then I'm going to get some poinsettias for the table.
Hey, do you guys know where I can get this for my wall? I want to put this up in my
Okay, so I have a
parlor.
point with this. Okay, so look at Jimmy Carter.
Okay.
He's not in the same group as those guys, right?
No, that's a doctored.
Is it doctored?
Has to
Yeah,
be.
he's cut out because Clinton's. See how the elbow on Clinton
The elbow's kind of cut out.
Yeah, they shopped him in there.
But they're all neolibs. I mean, Carter not so much, but the rest all, yeah.
Yeah. Why did they put Carter in that, do you think?
I don't know.
Austerity.
That was my, yeah,
Soften
what was the
blow,
point?
Whatever. Yeah, I mean, those are all buddies right there. We got Senior and Obama and Junior and Billy Boy. Crooked Bill. I mean, Jesus.
I stand behind the one who still swings a hammer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. When liberals try and talk to me about pushing Biden left. Yeah, I think that's what you got. That's pretty much right on. Yeah. By the way, David Dole, how's it working out for you? Who would you rather fight, Donald Trump or Joe Biden? You know, whatever.
I'd pick Trump on a hot second.
These days, I mean, people will say, Amber, how could you say that? Well,
who brought this?
I did.
I had it hid for Saturday night. You found it too.
Well, you know, hey, we birds of a feather.
That's right. We
flock together. So, this is perfect. You know, we're working out the kinks and getting things squared away. But Roar Media, we are on a mission, and I am so excited to see where, and how amazing this gets built. And I just want to thank all of you. It's one of the things I am most thankful for is our media family and beyond, and all of you in the chat and supporting us through these efforts. You really make it worth it, and we're just gonna keep on growing and going up. I can't wait.
We got double digits over on the Rockfin right now. That is so amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, that's terrific, and I love this meme too. It is great, and we're going to try and improve and get more people on that can speak and get Oz behind the curtain where he belongs, and that's going to be great. So thanks for bringing that. We're going to run that meme again tomorrow on Beauty and the Boomer, right?
Sure.
Good things deserve at least more than one view.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I'm so happy with everybody, in particular, you know, women driving Roar Media. I take it away, ladies. I'm here to serve at your pleasure because you're doing it right. everything, doing everything right. What do we got here? This is, I saw this. This was
Oh,
the
this
other
is a
day.
cute little rant from Fee.
Yeah, she rants again. Fee says, here's your rant. There you go, Fee.
The Democrats more than the Republicans. Well, the thing is, what you know who Republicans are. Republicans tell you flat out, like, I stand as a conservative. I don't believe in abortion. I don't believe in, in letting immigrants come here freely. I don't believe in this and that. They flat out say it. That's fine. They take a narrative that's completely spun when it comes to police brutality, when it comes to other things that I don't agree with. And, I will give the truth. I have gone to Tijuana during the caravans, and I have interviewed people who really spoke about why they were running away from their country, etc., to kind of throw that narrative out. Same thing with the protests that we've covered. We actually go there and we interview these people, we talk, we attend, etc. That's how you tell the truth, by combating the other side. I don't have to sit there and talk about how dumb they are and waste my time on that. I can just spew out facts and show videos and interview people and tell the truth and do actual journalism that'll discredit everything else.
Bottom line.
Bottom line.
Absolutely. Go Fee.
Go Fiorella. And
They say they'll miss Oz if you go behind. Don't worry, I will never let Oz not be in front of the camera.
yeah, I can't even get my lighting right, so I don't deserve to be on the camera. That's on my list of to-dos, everybody. I think I'll rip it apart when I rip everything else apart this afternoon. Again, thank you, ladies. It's always a pleasure, and it's always great, Amber, when you can join. We love
Yes.
having you. And your perspective on everything. Again, thanks to everybody in the chat. Gene over there on the Natural Progressive, Kevin. We've got several other people. I know a lot of them went over there. They're probably watching Kevin right now. Black Bear News.
Right.
Rich
Yeah, we did
Diana,
drop off right when
Sharyar.
Kevin went live.
Yeah,
but hey,
yeah, and
I
that's-
get it.
Yeah,
I
we
like
get it.
Kevin.
We don't want to step on anybody, but we can't coordinate this, with all the others. We just gotta watch it on the reruns, whatever.
Right.
We appreciate having you here. What are we going on with today?
Oh, well, I want to tell you guys to join me tonight for an all-new Accidental Activist. We're going to have Stevie from Red Economics on. I'm really excited to have an in-depth conversation with her about how she got involved in the movement. And, she hails from West Virginia, so I love her perspective. And then tomorrow night, we have Beauty and the Boomer.
Yay, Beauty and the Boomer. I'm going to be in opposite land, the fringe reality, so that's how I'm going to try and dress. So we will see what I can come up with. There's not much in the deck yet, so we're going to have to put that together.
I know. I haven't even started writing that shit.
Yeah, I know. It's going to
We're
be
busy, man.
What do you got going on, Amber? Anything?
I've got a birthday party to put together, and probably a few sinks of dishes and a cup of coffee to refill, and
Right.
I'm about to head over and open up the Roar Media bank account so we can start
Yay.
accepting super chat and more funds. So if you're feeling in the mood, we're a little late for Giving Tuesday, but I hope you guys are all into making gifts this year, supporting nonprofits and causes that you care about, supporting people in your community, and shopping small and supporting, the Etsy, the Joey's Coffee. We've got to all support these small businesses or they are going to go away.
Yeah.
So do your part. Forget the cheap deal at Walmart or Costco. Try and buy gifts locally and make things.
Give love, not consumerism.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be
We don't
great.
need more things. We need more memories.
That'd be great. Yeah, I can't wait to see you tonight with Stevie Shanda, and I'm going to be ready to go, so I won't be tearing things down completely here today.
That's a problem. We always have shows, so we can't just tear down
Yeah,
anything.
I go to do something. I go, oh no, I can't. I'm gonna mess it up. So I've got to tread lightly. So what are we going out with today? Is this a copyright free thing?
Oh no, we'll get punked for this.
We're gonna get punked because they're singing the melody, right?
Yeah.
Superstition. Is this a cover for Stevie Wonder or what is
It
it?
is.
Oh,
It
cool.
is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I listened to a lot of Stevie Wonder last night. Thank you all.
Bye guys. Have a
See you
great
guys tonight.
Bye.
I'll be chilling in chat.
superstitious. The writings on the wall. Very superstitious. Lord, the ladder's about to fall. 13-month-old baby broke that looking glass. 7 years of bad luck. Good things in your past. When you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Hey, very superstitious. Wash your face and hands. Rid me of the problem and do all that you can. Keep me in a daydream. Keep me going strong. But you don't want to save me. Hey, sad is the song. When you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah.